Hello, no one. I'm Xana, and today we're going to talk about how to get started creating digital art, focusing mostly on the tools you will be considering when starting your digital art journey. Before we get going, I want to apologize if my voice is weird today or I'm a little bit less like myself. I got 2 root canals yesterday and my jaw feels like I got sucker punched by Mike Tyson. Let us persevere. How does one get started creating digital art? Well, just like anything, you have to start by educating yourself. So let's cover a couple methods. Firstly, you can create digital art by scanning in a traditional piece and then cleaning it up and coloring it digitally, or use that traditional piece as a guide for your digital drawing. As an example, here's a drawing that I started traditionally. Archer came over to give me some love after getting a drink, and he left a glob of water on the paper right across his character's shoulder. So, instead of giving up on it, I took it in a digital direction as shown in these pictures. This was before I started recording my drawings, so unfortunately I don't have footage of this one, but I think the pictures get the point across. Secondly, you can fully create your work digitally from the sketch all the way through to publish. This is my preferred method when working digitally. Surely there are more ways of going about it, but for today we'll work with these. Now, the next thing to consider is the tools you'll be using. I would say that the way most of us get started is with a computer and a drawing tablet of sorts. Drawing tablets can range greatly by price, but do not be overwhelmed and feel like you have to drop hundreds or thousands of dollars on a tablet. Huion is a great company that's producing some really competitive tablets at a reasonable price. I think I saw one as low as $20. However, I say spend a little bit more money and get a larger surface with a larger drawing space. This will help greatly with things like line work and in general be more comfortable on your wrists. There will be a learning curve with art tablets. If you're completely new to them, then looking at a screen while your hand draws on a separate surface can be a very strange experience. Rest assured, practice, and practice some more, and this should become second nature. Next is the touchscreen department, and this one varies immensely. Here's the computer that I started with, an HP TX 2500. Now it's ancient and the display no longer turns on, but there are still some computers out today that have similar features. iPads and display tablets in general are another option, but do consider the pressure sensitivity when shopping for these. The higher the pressure sensitivity, the better you will be able to give that lifelike feeling to digital brushstrokes with taper and opacity changes. When I went with the iPad, it was because it was comparable to the likes of Wacom when it came to pressure sensitivity. Then we have the monsters of the digital art world, the display/monitor tablets, the Cintiqs and the likes. For the love of all things on this earth, please do not feel like this is what you have to create digital art. Display tablets are, of course, really amazing, and all that awesomeness definitely comes with a price tag to match. Again, I'll mention Huion as they have been producing some display tablets that compete with Wacom for a third of the price. I was considering one myself, and there's some really great reviews here on YouTube for them as well. We're already starving artists, so it's important to find where you can strategically spend your money. So, you have the physical tool to create art, and now what? Let's talk software. When choosing software, it's important to consider your style of art. Of course, Photoshop is going to be a contender with any style. While Photoshop has almost endless capabilities, it can be a little overwhelming. I've been working with Photoshop recreationally and professionally for about 12 years now, so if you'd like an intro to Photoshop for artists video maybe in the future, please leave a comment down below. Another great program for PC is Tool Sai, and it's significantly cheaper than Photoshop. Unfortunately, this one is limited to PC. I tried every which way to get it onto my MacBook, but what it comes down to is having those pressure sensitivity settings. even partitioning the hard drive and booting Windows to get it will leave you without those settings, and that just defeats the purpose. For this reason, I don't have as much experience with Sai, but I have seen some really incredible manga and anime style art created in it. The program that I use on my iPad is Clip Studio Paint, formerly known as Manga Studio. I really enjoy it because it gives me almost all the capability of Photoshop on my iPad and in a portable and light device that I can draw directly on the display. If you've seen the new iPad that just came out, it will actually have the full Photoshop on it in the next year, and I am high-key freaking out. I'm so excited. Procreate is probably the most common software in the iPad world. I purchased it the day I got my iPad, and it does have some incredible brushes and textures to work with, but I did quickly move over to Clip Studio because of the functionality that I was looking for, so I'm only now getting back into it. But Procreate is by no means lesser and can be a lot less overwhelming when you're starting out. So why not just use MS Paint? Well, that comes down to resolution and layers. In these other programs, you can have a much higher resolution, which avoids that weird, scratchy, pixelated look of most things created in MS Paint. Layers, I feel, are absolutely vital in creating digital art. If you can imagine layers like stacks of transparent paper that you can selectively add or take away portions of your drawing, then that kind of gives you a good idea. Again, talking about how you can manipulate layers can really be its own video, so let me know if that information would be valuable to you in the comments below. Backtracking a bit, the first way I mentioned of creating digital art was to scan in a traditional sketch or drawing. I used to do this a lot, especially after my HP broke and before I got my iPad. I had my Wacom Intuos Pro, so why? For me, I felt like it was still faster and that I was more precise at inking my drawings traditionally than I was with the tablet. Even when I used the wheel to rotate my drawings, I never could quite get over the visual disconnect of my hands drawing while my eyes looked at a display. Unfortunately, even then, I felt like I could never get the quality I wanted to come through when I scanned my traditional work in. In order to color beneath your lines in layers, you have to remove the white of your paper. For me, this always left some white bits or just gray in between the colors of my lines, so I just stick with the method of using a traditional sketch and then inking it digitally so I can get those super high quality crisp lines in it with no feel. That's something that I really love about Clip Studio, is that I do have the option to actually create vector lines, which is also another video in itself. I won't ramble on anymore, but if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them in a reply or in an upcoming video. Please leave a like if this video helped you out and consider subscribing for more. My new upload schedule is Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons, so you can look forward to new videos on those days. Thank you for putting up with me in this root canal special. As always, let's take each day, each pixel, and every corrupted drawing file one at a time. See you all on Thursday. Bye!